Welcome to the second of two self-study modules on pressure. In the first video, you learned about absolute versus gauge pressure. In this short presentation, we will discuss a general definition of what pressure is, introduce the concept of differential pressure, and understand that when there is a pressure difference between 2 points, pressure will flow. So here are our learning objectives. The first one is to define pressure. The second is to become familiar with the concept of differential pressure. And the third is to learn the direction flow will take when there is delta P. So pressure is a unit of work. We say this because our observation of pressure is always in terms of cause and effect. Take, for instance, a thumbtack. You apply a bit of pressure with your thumb and you can press the tack into a corkboard. Or consider a hot air balloon. You fill that hot air balloon with heated air and it becomes more buoyant, and the air inside of the balloon is pushing out against the perimeter of the balloon, and it floats up into the atmosphere. Or consider a lever, a simple lever like a pry bar that you might use to remove a piece of trim in your house. If you slip the pry bar between the surface and the piece of trim and apply some pressure, you can remove the piece of trim. So we always say that pressure is a measure of force perpendicular to a surface, and it is defined as force over area. In physics, a force is any influence that causes an object to undergo a certain change, either concerning its movement, direction, or geometrical construction. Force will cause an object with mass to change its velocity. The concept of force is based on the work of Sir Isaac Newton, pictured here, and his 3 laws of motion. The other part of our equation is area. It is important to remember that pressure is force over or divided by area. It is this relationship that allows us to calculate flow in CFM when we use our blower door, when all we have to measure is pressure. Consider 10 pounds of weight resting on a 1-inch square surface. According to our equation, we could measure a pressure of 10 pounds per square inch, or 10 divided by 1. If we took the same 10 pounds and place it on a 10 square inch surface, then our pressure would be reduced to 1 pound per square inch, or 10 divided by 10. So there are 3 basic pressure types. From the previous video, we learned that absolute pressure is based on measurement relative to deep space, or absolute zero. In everyday usage, we are more interested in pressure relative to what we experience at sea level, under the weight of the atmosphere pressing down on us. We call this gauge pressure. There is a third way to look at pressure, and this is one we use as building scientists every day, and it is called differential pressure, and it is what the DG 700 measures. Differential pressure is simply measuring the difference in pressure between 2 points or 2 volumes. In our case, it would be house pressure relative to the outside. We measure flow when we reach a delta P of negative 50 pascals with respect to the outside. So, delta P, or triangle P, equals pressure difference. Consider this house. It is under positive pressure, and as such, the air inside is pushing out against the outer walls. Add a second house, this one under negative pressure. In this case, the air inside it feels like it's being compressed, or the air from the outside is pushing in from the outside to the inside. Using this basic idea, we can come up with some basic concepts. And the first one is that flow is always from positive or high to negative or low. And for every CFM that exits the house, 1 CFM must enter. So 1 comes in, 1 goes out. And flow always takes the path of least resistance. And that's it. Now we're ready to discuss the pressure in houses that we measure daily. Thanks.